I wanted to share with you guys my journey through the last, I don't know how long it's been since I think a couple weeks. But I think at the beginning of this, I kind of consigned myself to God's will, and I assumed I knew His will, and so I just asserted that whatever would be, and that there was no amount of kicking and screaming on my part that would change that. But I've had a rude awakening, I guess, or just an awakening of a lot has happened since my friend passed away on New Year's Day from cancer, and after 7 years and 2 horrifying years of chemo and side effects and severe nausea, and her body just finally let go, and I had some tender moments with her before she passed, and that has awakened in me a desire to not just sit idly by and be the victim of my circumstances, and not saying that she did, but I'm saying that's what I was doing. I listened to everything the doctors told me. I followed every protocol to a T, and they are in a place where they can't help me. And so I decided that I get to choose what I can control. And so I realized that Heavenly Father had been placing, I say it's like manna from heaven, the whole journey. It started with right away, my brother-in-law sent me a book called The Garrison Way, and I took one look at it, and it has coffee enemas and stuff like that, and I thought, that's crazy. That's just crazy. And then from there, it was my friend Mel and Terry showing up in my kitchen with a juicer and saying, this, if you're serious, let's do this, and let's we'll be eating cheesecake, you'll be drinking your juice 10 years from now. And then a repair guy who stood in my kitchen and asked to give me a hug and told me a story about a client he had who was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and he just started juicing and made it for a year, and he's doing well. And there's just been all these little seeds planted, but I wasn't ready to pick up the manna. I wasn't ready to learn until Debbie was a rude awakening for me, and also the fact that things weren't changing relying on the medical field. And if you can hear, I'm so much better, but I'm not better yet. I believe that I can be with the side effects. I did get a second opinion. I went to St. Luke's, and I met a really great doctor, and he just listened to me. I was ready just to come in with my guns blazing, like, I've done this, and this is the research I know, and this is my body, and this is what I've been through, and I don't believe this, and I need answers. And he just listened, and he said, honestly, I think you are so rare and different that you are kind of out of our local scope of practice, and we really want you to go back to the Mayo Clinic and get a PET scan there. And because I haven't had the cancer checked since 6 months ago when this started, and so we're all curious to see what that looks like. But one of the major differences is, I ordered like 12 books from Amazon, and I've been watching movies, and I had a sweet sister in our ward bring her father-in-law over who has just revamped his whole diet. And for the last few years, I've thought, why don't we eat the Word of Wisdom? And so the first thing I did is I sat down and I read the Word of Wisdom, and I wrote notes. I wrote notes about what God intended us to follow, and each to their own, but I'm in a place where, like, it's life or death. And so I am fighting for my life at this point. And so I wrote down all the criteria that Heavenly Father put in place for us. Herbs being for our need, meats sparingly and only in the season of famine or extreme weather. um, Green being the staff of life, and it kind of goes on from there. But so I've been trying to eat completely vegan. Nobody judge, but I'm fighting for my life, and so I've got a lot of resources from that individual who came over, and I could feel his spirit so strong, and he was speaking to me as if Heavenly Father was talking to me. And so I've had all these epiphanies, so to speak, for my own journey. And I don't know what the outcome will be, but I don't need to know. I just have to have faith in the process and hope. And another huge piece of the puzzle is I have to detox my emotions. I have to forgive. I have to get rid of the negativity, and which is really hard when I'm on prednisone too. So that's its own challenge again, but I'm determined to purge my inner vessel, and I don't know where it will lead me, but I'm hopeful that I'm hopeful, and I've been hopeful, and I've had peace, but I think I just wanted to impose whatever out there was going to happen is out of my control, and now I want to take some sort of control. I want to be able to say I fought a good fight no matter what, and hopefully it makes me a better, more worthy person at the end of the day anyway.